question I want to ask. Do we vaccinate our kids? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Cierto. Okay. Why, doctor?
So it's so important because there are so many diseases out there that are completely preventable with vaccines. And those diseases can be super, super dangerous, right? So particularly in young kids who have essentially no immune system when they're first born. And some of those diseases are things like Haemophilus influenza B that can cause meningitis, infection of the tissues around the brain, and then you get meningitis, right? And your brain doesn't develop right. Or pertussis, which in you and me would cause a really bad cough for 100 days, but in a baby, they can't breathe, they turn blue, and we sometimes can't save them, even in our ICUs.
That terrifies me because I was telling before we started live that I'm a new auntie. I have a niece now, and just she's 3 months old, and just a month ago we went to her first round of vaccines. And my sister was so nervous. She was talking to me like, should I not? How many vaccines? It's good because, you know, in Latin America, we have a lot of Latin Americans here who live in South Florida. Mm-hmm. The rounds of vaccinations are different in different countries. The regulations here are different. So we were going to the doctor. I spent 2 months with them there, and I got very nervous because they vaccinate the kid, like my niece Alana, with like 4 at the same time. Of course, the kid was crying. She's a first time mom. I was nervous, but I was trying to get, support her. So is it normal first of all, the kids cry? Is it normal to have that many vaccines the first round?
Right.
How does it work, doctor?
It is normal. Look, listen, I'm not only a pediatrician, I'm also a mom. And
yes.
I'm sympathetic when a baby cries, right?
Yes.
But we need to know that, so the crying is normal. They got a shot, it hurts. They got 4 shots in this case, right?
4 shots,
it
yes.
Hurts.
Oh my God, 4.
Here's the good news, 2 good news. One is, if you can stop the crying, right? A mom or a dad cuddling that baby, breastfeeding that baby, that crying is going to stop really quickly. Mm-hmm. The baby's not going to remember that. We're going to take care of that baby. The other good news is we have so purified those vaccines so that the amount of anything that's foreign to that baby is so minimal compared to when we were young. You know,
of course.
Particularly me, because I'm so much older than you are.
We're not old. We have experience, doctor.
Even when I got one vaccine
yes.
when I was younger, was much more of an immune hit for me
exactly.
than when they get born out.
And now I guess, in this life that we're living, we have more toxics coming, from the environment, also the food. So we need to take care of the kids, right?
Speaking to each other or sneeze in child care or whatnot. They get more, there's been research on this, they get more from a regular day in school or in child care, even a little 3-month-old, than from those 4 vaccines, believe it or not.
I have people connecting and asking questions. I want you to know that you can ask either in Spanish or English. Si quieren saber algo en español, la doctora también lo puede contestar. Si te estás conectando de nuevo aquí, estamos en un Facebook Live desde la Universidad de Miami Health System. Estoy súper contenta. Hace 2 meses comenzamos esto. Una vez al mes tenemos especialistas y doctores hablando de los temas que tú quieres saber, porque yo, Laura Termini, no te puedo contestar esas preguntas. So, if you want to ask questions in English or Spanish, you can. She's gonna be answering questions. I have a lot of questions here from you guys because I started telling people that I was gonna interview you. I have Gaby. She wants to know, quiere saber si la vacuna contra el papiloma es una buena opción para la hija de 12 años.
Excellent question, Gabby. Es importante para. It's really. Do you want me in English or Spanish?
No importa. Papiloma, how do you say papiloma in English?
HPV, human papillomavirus.
Okay, good.
Okay, so it's important for your 12-year-old girl. It's also important for your son. So we'll get to that too. It's for girls and boys.
Okay.
So HPV is a super common virus that infects about 70% of us, okay? At some point when we become sexually active. Now, don't lose me because your 12-year-old isn't sexually active.
I was gonna say.
Don't lose me. The really important thing is you give the vaccine before they're sexually active, okay? So all of us, even with and I told you, I'm a mom too, so even with our kids who are good kids and they haven't started sexual activity yet, Us moms, eventually we want to become grandparents, right?
Yes.
They're going to be, even in marriage, they're going to become sexually active. We want to get the vaccine before the virus gets into their system. That's how prevention works.
So that's a yes. Ahora en español, sí, entonces tiene que tener el vaccine.
And it prevents cancer. Nobody wants our kids to get cancer of the cervix, of the penis, of the rectum, of all those internal things. That virus gets in there and it stays in there. And 10 years later, when they have kids of their own, right?
I don't think I did have that vaccine.
We didn't have
no,
that.
we didn't, right?
No, but it's been around. The vaccine's been around for 10 years or more. We know the
so
safety on it. It's,
we didn't have that. We're old.
We know the safety on it. It's as safe as any other vaccine. Give it to them, please.
Gaby dice, muchas gracias, doctora, por la información. Ahora yo voy a jugar un jueguito aquí que hice aquí con la doctora. Doctora, le voy a dar esto que es cierto y falso, ¿verdad? Y yo tengo mi cierto y falso también. Entonces vamos a hacer unas preguntitas en inglés y tú me vas a contestar a mí. Voy a poner aquí mi teléfono para poder verla. Bueno, I love your office.
Yes,
this is more for me, like for kids.
And you can have some chocolate.
Oh, that's chocolate as well.
Good.
Okay, it's always good. So, okay, so we asked the first question, vaccines work? Cierto. Yes. Cierto. Okay. Tengo una pregunta. My child is not at risk, so they don't need to get the vaccines? Falso. Perfecto. Childhood vaccines. Oh, this is something that I really want to talk to you about. Childhood vaccines can cause autism. Las vacunas pueden crear autismo, o sea, tu niño puede salir autismo. A ver qué me dicen por aquí. ¿Ustedes qué creen? Según lo que han leído por ahí. La vaccine o ¿cómo se dice vaccine? Se me olvidó. La vacuna puede causar autismo. And I want to talk to you about this because this is something that people ask a lot. Okay?
Okay. Falso.
So
there have been so many studies on these, big, huge population studies done in Denmark, done in Finland, studies done here. This was created by, Andrew Wakefield, who was paid, he was doing his own stuff. It was, there is nothing to this. So, no, please do not believe that. Like, we need to study autism more. There's different kinds of autism. We know some of the genetic parts of this. We know some of the risks of this. We don't know enough about it. We need to do the right studies for autism. We need to help these kids. But vaccines are not the cause of autism. And vaccines are super important, including for kids who have autism. They need to be protected against pertussis and HIV and HPV and the whole tetanus and yes, we need to vaccinate all children unless they have a medical indication, like they have a cancer or that at the time that they're being treated or some other certain very narrow indications.
Just 2 weeks ago, I was watching John Oliver, which is one of my favorite journalists now on HBO, and he had like a very good piece on his TV show about vaccination and about the rubella, because there's one part of I don't remember the state, but one state in the United States that the whole town has autism and the rubella, blah blah blah. But it's something they were doing a study that is because they have some genetic thing in that kind of in that state. So he did a study about the vaccines, and I really thought about that because I'm part of this green blogger movement as well. And green bloggers are very intense, doctor, about the parenting, what they call they want to give the milk to the child for like forever, not like kind of like a Game of Thrones kind of thing, like 7 years old and the breastfeeding. I don't like that, but on John Oliver that we're talking about that you're telling me that is false, that it's now a fact that you have to immunize your kid because it doesn't have anything to do with the autism. But these moms are very, very strong because they are influencers on social media and they're spreading the word about not to. But just last week, because I knew that I was going to interview you, I saw another poll on the web that they were telling now they're more flexible right now because they're reading the facts and they're telling us and they're trying to Actually, they were, I think, doing some kind of like where you sign the petition not to have the vaccines like 4 or 5 at the same time for the kid. What do you think about that? Do you think it would change something or not?
So that's a lot of stuff to unpack, right? And I breastfed both of my kids and
until 7 years
years
old?
Not 7 years. And I'm working mom.
That is it, Doctor changed my life on Game of Thrones when I saw that queen and the 7-year-old kid. I go like, no, there's no way that can be.
To each their own, right? So, but and rubella, by the way, is a really good example of like the benefit of to others, right? In terms of a cluster or a community, because rubella is one of those vaccines that if you don't vaccinate, it's the pregnant mom in your kid's school, or the pregnant woman in your teacher's school, or kid, or in your neighborhood or something, and your kid actually endangers them, and then they have lose the pregnancy, or they have other problems with the baby. So your question is really splitting up the vaccine.
Yes.
So there's absolutely no evidence that has any benefit. There's no evidence that splitting up the vaccine has any benefit. And when you do that, you're then bringing the child in multiple times, and when they're old enough, then now they're traumatized to see the doctor. They think every doctor visit is a shot, right? A vaccine. So most of us in medicine don't really want to do that. Would I ever work with a parent who wants to do that? I think it costs more. I think there's less convenience. I think there's risk that you don't come back to get it. So I don't recommend it, but I do understand that we're a team, right?
Yes.
Not all of my
colleagues,
peers, will go with that. And I don't even recommend it. But you're a parent. If you're going to go along with, yes, we're going to vaccinate.
Doctor, but now that you're talking about the relationship between the doctor and the patient here in the States, we Latinos, we always complain about that, because in Latin America we have a very good close relationship with our doctors. I don't feel the same way here, and I've been living in the States for 20 years. It's changing. That's why I'm here. It's changing. Yes, it is, because, and I know you guys are busy. But if you're going to
stretch it out over 5 years, we have more to talk about.
Yeah, we do. We do. No, I know. But, back in, like, referring to my experience in Vegas with my sister, that I was, complaining with the doctor, like, how come my sister had a kid and you never called her back? Mm-hmm. She had a very, very difficult, not pregnancy, but just the breastfeeding, got infected. It was something very, very hard for both of us. So now that we have this relationship with the doctor, I speak my mind, and I said, listen, doctor, you need to care more about my sister. She was like, I care, but I know, and I get that you guys, you doctors don't connect sometimes with, you have to disconnect your emotions to be able to treat patients, because it's the way you were,
I don't know,
school,
but I do think you should,
be able to ask the questions.
Not leave the relationship, be able to ask questions.
That's my thing.
And be able to voice your concerns.
Bueno, entonces, en español les voy ahora a pasar a español con la misma pregunta que le hice a la doctora en español, cierto o falso, si es bueno o no, o si está relacionada la vacunación con el autismo. Y ya dijimos que está falso. Le contaba a la doctora cómo en John Oliver hace poco vi un especial sobre la vacunación y cómo ya está aprobado. Yo, que soy una bloguera verde, que aparte súper investigo para todas mis lectoras que son green, cómo hay un movimiento de mamás green que no quieren vacunar a los niños. Entonces me preocupa, porque yo tengo una sobrina y ¿qué le digo a mi hermana? Le digo, sí, no, o sea, tengo más información y tengo acceso a los doctores. Doctora, rapidito, en español, por favor, para la audiencia en español de South Florida y los que nos están viendo a través del mundo, porque Facebook Live se ve por todos lados, ¿el autismo tiene que ver entonces con la vacunación, sí o no?
Es muy importante que todos los niños reciban las vacunas, y las vacunas no causan autismo. No hay
relación.
Ninguna prueba de relación.
Ninguna prueba de relación. Gracias. Eso lo empezó un doctor que fue quien fue, y de ahí se regó la voz, ¿no?
Licencia, no tiene nada de credencial. Eso era falso completamente.
Porque los medios, doctora, hay tanta información en la web que uno también se confunde y uno dice, bueno, ¿a quién le creo? ¿No?
Yo sé.
También, o sea, y yo que soy blogger y tengo también mi background de comunicadora, soy muy responsable en lo que comparto con ellos que están aquí al otro lado, soy responsable en eso. Y por eso cuando hicimos este partnership con UM, yo me sentí tan feliz de poderle dar a la audiencia credibilidad y personas de confianza y doctores como tú, que yo te puedo preguntar y tú me vas a decir algo.
Gracias, es un servicio muy importante, ¿no?
Cierto,
Es muy
doctora,
importante.
cierto, por favor, cierto. 8
Cierto.
años, cierto.
Es muy importante que la información en el web que busca viene de, como se dice, reliable sources.
Sí,
¿no?
de una fuente confiable. Y hablando de eso, doctora, les voy a decir algo. La University of Miami Health System ahora tienen un blog fabuloso que yo más tarde cuando nos desconectemos le voy a poner ahí a ustedes el enlace para que vean toda la información que ellos tienen sobre las vacunas. I'm going to be sharing a link of University of Miami Health System where you have all the information about the vaccines. Okay. Y entonces antes de terminar, before we disconnect, okay, I have another question. Can I get vaccinated? No, I can't get vaccinated because I'm breastfeeding. Well, hold on. Breastfeeding. Cierto.
Well, cierto.
La pegué. Ajá.
Bueno, listen, most vaccines you can get while you're breastfeeding.
Okay.
And you can get most vaccines while you're pregnant. I mean, in certain vaccines you need to if you didn't already get them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like you really should get the flu vaccine either before you're pregnant or while you're pregnant. It protects the baby, right? And if you didn't already get your pertussis vaccine, you should get your pertussis vaccine. And so should everybody in your home, right? That's the protection, the nesting protection for the baby before the baby comes out. So you want to get those vaccines. And we have research, we're not just making this up, like we have research and studies to show this and to show that it's safe for you and for the baby and that it protects the baby. There's a benefit. It's not just safe, but it's a benefit for the baby. So that's really, really important. And if you're worried, does some of this cross into the breastfeeding? Yes, but that has a benefit in terms of the protection to the baby. So that's okay.
So if I get the flu vaccine, I cannot get the flu. I would say that's falso. You get the flu, right?
You're right. Well, no. If you get that, you will not catch the flu from the flu vaccine.
From that strain of the strain, is that the right? Or from that kind of flu? So you won't get from that. The flu vaccine is a broken down piece of the flu. So you will not get the flu from that strain that you got the injection from. Okay.
But you can get another cold.
Okay.
Right? You could have gotten an infection.
Cold, but not flu.
Right. Or you could get another flu that wasn't in that, right? The flu vaccine is a mixture of 3 different strains of flu. So if there was another flu somewhere else, because there's lots, you could get another flu.
Okay,
right?
got it.
And the people who say, oh, I always get the flu from the flu vaccine, no, you didn't, but you could have been infected from somebody else's sneeze 3 days before, right?
Okay,
You didn't
yes,
know.
of course. Making me get vaccinated is a violation of my civil rights. I would say falso.
I don't know what people mean when they say making me get vaccinated.
Well, like, you know,
there's we're holding you down and giving you the injection, right?
Well, I have an answer here that I did some research. U.S. courts have deemed vaccination laws constitutional. All states offer medical exemptions. So you have the right to say no.
Okay, so for yes, right.
Okay.
If there's a medical law, a medical exemption, you mean like if your workplace says
exactly,
you have to do it or you have to leave, right? So we at the University of Miami, all of us who deal with clinical setting, we have to get vaccinated unless there's a medical reason. And if you're not, then you gotta leave. And if somebody has a problem with that, well, but we're protecting our patients. We're protecting the people in our own home that way and ourselves.
Of course,
I think it's really important.
I have to now.
I'm not a lawyer, so I'm
thinking now about asking my mom about the list of vaccines that I had when I was a child. I go like, I don't remember.
And you gotta get a flu shot every year. They come out in the fall. Don't wait until January. I mean, you can get it in January. It's still useful.
But you know, then I think, doctor, if you have good food and good prevention, I don't get sick. To be honest. Falso. No. Let me tell you something. I don't get sick that often because I take care of myself. Of course, that my immune system is strong.
Okay,
right?
but so you have a chance. A person only has one in 5 people will get infected from the flu. So it's like a Russian roulette thing.
So I have good luck.
You have good luck. I'm glad you eat well and you drink your water, right?
Yes.
And that's great to protect yourself in general. But if you got a bad strain of the flu, you're still going to get hit with the flu.
So it's good for my elderly parents
and the very young,
and the young kids.
The elderly would be better protected if all the young kids, if we really vaccinated everybody in the school system, the elderly would have less infections.
I've seen that because when grandparents take care of their grandson and grandchildren, they get sick a lot because of the children.
Right. And remember that the Spanish flu, historically, like
I know.
The bad viruses, they hit the young people really hard because it was the body's reaction to that. So your heart reacts badly with all this inflammation, heart, and that made people really sick. That's what people died from.
Yeah, I know about that because I did a documentary. I produced a documentary about the H1N1 virus, the porcina, the flu. So, and when I did research about that, I said, oh my God, a lot of people, die from the fever, like 100 of people. Now we have,
It's so easy.
It's so easy. It's so easy. Bueno, nuestro Facebook Live ya está por terminar, así que pueden mandar sus preguntas. This was fun, doctor? That's good. True. Cierto. This was fun. Pueden mandar sus preguntas porque yo de todas maneras estoy conectada con la doctora durante todo el día también. Pueden mandar preguntas ahí, pero me encantaría que fueran a la página web de Health, que se las voy a compartir ahorita, donde tienen un artículo completo sobre también las vacunas y ahí pueden tener research. Remember that we're here in Miami. If you live in Miami, you have amazing staff here. Of course, I don't know if you're going to be able to sit with the doctor here.
I have lots of good pediatricians. Come see us.
Yes, you still have patients, right? Okay, good. But how often do you treat patients? Like every day? No.
Oh, so I see patients usually 2 days a week. I can see patients other days if that's more convenient. But I work with a team of 140 child health providers.
Perfect.
All who give vaccines, but also do other things. We, gastroenterologists, pulmonologists, cardiologists.
It's good to know. It's good to know.
No, we do everything.
And
so whatever your needs are, we take care of kids from birth and before, all the way up through, teenage years. College.
And back to school is, soon.
It's
so
right
it's
now.
good to know about the vaccination before your kid starts school. Thank you so much, Dr. Julie. I'm excited. Thank you so much for all the information.
Congratulations.
My niece?
They said una tía.
See, I'm going to set some Skype call with my sister so she can ask you questions because I don't like her doctor there. So I have better doctors here in UM. now that I'm a VIP, I'm telling her to move to Miami, but she can. So thank you so much for being here. Gracias, chicos y chicas, por estar aquí. Me pueden mandar sus preguntas. Esto se va a quedar colgado todo el día. This is going to be live on my Facebook page all day and on UM as well, UM Health System. I'm going to share with you some links y estamos conectadas. Gracias. En Pregúntale al Experto, estamos aquí con la mejor de las especialistas pediatras. Something else that you want to say?
Be safe, be healthy, vaccinate, and go Canes.
Okay, thank you so much, doctor. Bye-bye. Un besito.